If you talk to veteran players and coaches around the NBA, they'll all tell you to a man there's a significant ratcheting up of intensity and focus progressively from preseason to regular season and from regular season to playoffs. Remember when LeBron returned to Cleveland in 2014? The emotion, the passion, the fervor inspired at every game to the point where during the second game of the season at Chicago, one of LeBron's young teammates with the Cavs, some guy named Kyrie Irving, leaned over to veteran teammate Mike Miller and asked this.
Is this like similar to what a playoff game feels like? Yeah, about a couple notches below.
Gotta be kidding me. As that little fella would learn, the playoffs are way more intense than even that once-in-a-lifetime intense situation of LeBron returning to Cleveland. It involves an engagement level, preparation, and attention to detail that is unparalleled at any level of basketball, anywhere. For the Lakers, the playoffs have to start now. Our partners over at TNT have a slogan. They say, win or go home. That's where the Lakers are at right now. With 21 games remaining, only 3 games separating them from the 8th seed, or really the 7th seed for that matter, there's zero margin for error. We often talk about having an internal locus of control, meaning can only worry about the things we directly control and can't spend energy fretting about things that are out of hands. Having said that, the uncontrollable things have actually done them a massive favor, with both the Kings and Clippers losing last night, combined with the Lakers win, helps close that gap. And let's pause right here to point out that the 2 of the teams that they are chasing are incredibly young and unproven. Beyond featuring any true elite talent, I mean, you know the term, this isn't their first time at the rodeo? For the Kings and the Clippers, it is their first time at the rodeo. Man, like, remember the Nuggets the last 2 years? On paper, they were talented enough to be a playoff team, but they didn't get the job done as they sputtered down the stretch both years, narrowly missing the playoffs. You can go back a few years before that and think of Utah with Gordon Hayward knocking on that playoff door but not quite making it. But none of that matters if the Lakers don't take care of business first, especially in the games they're supposed to win. Like Rachel said yesterday, we're not talking about winnable games or you should have been competitive, whatever. We're talking about the absolute non-negotiable ones. Versus Cleveland at home, the Knicks at home, Pelicans without AD, the Grizzlies with or without Jaren Jackson.
Woo, child.
Damn. Put bluntly, you can't afford to lose these games. Take a quick look at the schedule. It's only about 6 of those non-negotiable type wins you can see out of the 21 remaining. That means they're going to have to overachieve tremendously down the stretch. It's not easy, but this is the mess they made, and they got to clean it up now. So, Janae, let's focus on last night. Should Laker fans be encouraged or discouraged by their close win against the Pelicans when AD didn't play for the last quarter and a half?
Yeah, you always have to put that qualifier to their wins. But if you look at this Lakers team, I'm sorry. They're too hot and cold for me to say that you should think that they're going to make the playoffs or that they're not going to make the playoffs. But to me, I'm unbothered, largely because there have been a lot of issues with how bad these young guys want it. You have not made the playoffs since 2013. It's right in front of you. I know they're 4 games back, but again, they had a fortuitous night last night with other teams taking losses. But if you look at this Lakers team, I'm happy with what LeBron did. Obviously, he was called out for his body language, right, by Kuzma. And how do you respond? He's like, you know what? I'm going to be Iyanla. I'm going to do self-introspection. I'm going to try to fix my life. I'm going to lead with positivity, okay?
Stanford work.
I'm going to lead. No, Iyanla's a woman. She's like Oprah, but she's Oprah's advisor. So long story short.
Oh, now I know who you're talking about.
There you go.
Okay.
LeBron led with positivity. He said, I like where we are. And it looked like he found his joy yesterday. That dagger 3 from the corner, that was cool.
Yeah.
And his positivity is contagious. Kuzma had a good game. Brandon Ingram had a good game. Rondo had 16 assists. So if LeBron is being positive, I think that's the only language. That's the love language, as a young would say, for these young Lakers. Now, one thing people don't understand is if they're going to make the playoffs, they need everyone to perform. Brandon Ingram has been performing as of late. Last 4 or so games, 27, like 9 and 3. And it's going under the radar. We gave him a lot of flack for he's supposed to be that number 2 option. If you look at these last 2 games, Brandon Ingram has been playing well, and that's a good indicator if they want to try to make this push.
Mark, give me something. Positivity?
The NBA's nervous. You got to have the Lakers in the playoffs, right?
They should.
I mean, you got to have this market. ESPN, TNT's nervous. But look, the Kings ain't worried about that. The Clippers ain't worried about that. I've been spending a lot of time in Sacramento. They want this bad.
Right.
And it seems like their urgency is on a different level than the Lakers. Same with the Clippers. The Clippers supposed to be out of this. We shouldn't even be talking about them. They seem to want it more. Yeah, I'm discouraged about last night.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised given the stakes and where they were coming out of All-Star break? That they don't have the sense of urgency that the 2 young teams that aren't supposed to know any better do?
I think that's that hangover from the trade deadline, man. You got to let that go and move on and play.
And that's a big gap right there.
No,
if you look
3
at the
games is
record.
a lot of games. It's a lot. It's going to be hard to overcome that. And dare I say the Clippers? Wow, I really thought they'd be out of it by now. But Doc Rivers, give credit to Doc.
Absolutely.
He's doing a great job trying to make some gumbo with just one piece of shrimp. You know, no sausage, nothing, and he's making it taste good.
No spices.
LeBron played 37 minutes last night, threw down a couple of vintage dunks. Marc, would it be smart to let LeBron go full throttle for the rest of the season to try to carry this team into the playoffs? We all remember what happened to Kobe in 2013, where he pushed and pushed and it got to the playoffs, but it was his last game, the second last game, he snapped the Achilles.
I think all is fair in love and free agency, man. you got to make sure this team is as pretty as possible going into free agency. And if the Clippers make it and they don't, that's another thing that the Clippers will probably use against them. Maybe other teams will use against them. You can't have LeBron not in the playoffs. Of course he's going to go full
playoffs. We're talking about playoffs.
As a player, as an elite athlete, you're an elite athlete, right?
Yeah.
Do you know when your body's telling you, look, we're at the breaking point?
Well, if LeBron James is healthy right now, I see no problem with him playing and going full throttle because he missed 18 games so far this season, 17 in a row. So he had a little bit of a break. Yeah. So if he's 100%, why not shoot your shot? Let's be real here, folks. He's filming Space Jam this summer. I don't think he was planning to be in the finals per se. I think early in the season, we saw them in the 4 or 5 slot. They were sort of overperforming where we said they're a lock. Right. When he came out, that's when the narrative shifted, the trade deadline happened, and it was an issue. So I think right now, if they make the playoffs, it's a bonus. The problem I have here is that they haven't made it since 2013. They had the opportunity right in front of their faces, and they let it dangle away.